everyone, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. So this reading vlog is going to be almost kind of like a 24-hour readathon format. I am basically taking part in the Koreadathon, which is being hosted by Chloe and Monica, and I have two books that I featured in my TBR this month that I'm hoping to read. I have a day off, it's Sunday evening right now, and I have tomorrow off, so I figured Readathon starts tomorrow, let's just do it in style and try to read my books within a 24-hour period. Obviously, I'm not sure if I'll be able to read both of them, but really just to see how much I can read within a 24-hour period is my goal. But if you hear a noise in the background, Millie's getting fed dinner. But I know you guys really tend to enjoy my 24-hour readathon vlog, so I thought I would attempt one tonight, but let's quickly go over my TBR for the next 24 hours. So the two books I'm hoping to read are the same two books I featured in my TBR. The first one is The Silence of Bones by June Her. This is a Joseon era murder mystery thriller novel, which I'm really intrigued by, and I also think will be a very quick read and kind of perfect for a 24-hour readathon setting. This is the group book for the Koreadathon, which is also fun, so a lot of people will be reading and picking this up, which I'm excited about. I've heard this is like really dark, but really gripping and just an excellent thriller, so that is exciting. And then much more on the lighter side, at least I think, I want to read Anna K, which is an Anna Karenina retelling set in New York. It follows our main character who is at the top of Greenwich society. She has a lot of expectations, a lot of rules from her parents, and I think she falls in love with the wrong boy. I hear it's compared a lot to Gossip Girl, so I'm hoping it's like drama and angst, but not so much murder mystery angst, but more like, you know, lighter teen romance angst, but we shall see, because Anna Karenina is not a light, easy breezy story, but I'm definitely intrigued to see how that classic kind of plays out in a modern contemporary setting. So these are the two books I'm hoping to read. I want to finish this and get a decent of the way through this within the next 24 hours, so that is my goal. So you hear Millie. So that is my TBR for the next 24 hours. Oh, hi Millie. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm gonna just get started. Right, Matilda? Well, I'm actually not gonna get started like right away. Clay's right there. Just ordered some ramen, so I'm probably gonna eat that first, watch a titch more of Naruto, because we're in the home stretch of that show. At least like plot-wise, they really don't have very many episodes left. It's kind of sad that the journey's coming to the end, but I guess we'll just have to start Baruto right away, so, you know, c'est la vie. Anyway, so just wanted to say, hey, welcome to the start of the vlog. I'm about to eat some ramen, which I'm pretty jazzed about. And let's see how much I can read in this 24-hour period. And the ramen has arrived. Okay, reading is about to commence. I ate ramen. Naruto was wild. I think we're like 2 episodes away from like the big boss climax. I don't really want to say anything because spoilers. I know there's like a chunk of episodes afterwards, but I think they're all based off like short stories, so it's different. But I'm gonna reward myself with those episodes later after I get reading in. So I'm gonna start with The Silence of Bones. I mentioned I feel like this is going to be hopefully a really quick read. It's also not very long. It's just over 300 pages. So I have high hopes I'm gonna rush through this. Not rush, but like fly through it, I think is the better word. I've retreated into the bedroom and I have all of my readathon essentials. Many of them are new and I'm gonna test out from a focus perspective. First, my friend got me a weighted blanket for my birthday, and let me just say, completely obsessed with this. I feel so like cozy and secure, and I think it'll help me a lot with reading and staying like set in one place, because I don't know, I don't feel antsy. I don't know, I just feel like very settled under a weighted blanket. I'm also gonna try to read with noise canceling headphones, just to see if it'll help me distract myself. And I'm also gonna put my phone all the way on, because of obvious and clear reasons that phones are designed to distract you, and my screen time has been out of control for the past like since like staying home has begun. My screen time has been out of control, so I'm really trying to get that back under control. So I'm gonna test noise canceling. I'm gonna sit here and read. It's 7:30, so this is when I'm starting my readathon, and I'm gonna read through tomorrow night, because why not? But we'll just see how much I can read. I will check in. I'm so Naruto inspired. Fist pump, everyone. Let's get started. All right. This is really peaceful. Let's jump in. Hi friends, popping in with my first reading update. First thing I wanted to say, headphones with classical music, game changer. I feel like I'm focusing so well. Plus it kind of like provides this soundtrack to what's going on. And so many of the songs that I'm just on shuffle fit the atmosphere, or like my brain makes it fit the atmosphere, and like a whole new, it's like an elevated reading experience. This is not going to be the last time I do this, let me tell you. But I've read 34 pages of this book, and I just wanted to pop in with like first impressions, and they are strong. I am just really captivated by this by page 1. Primarily, first, I mean, there's a murder. So the book opens on a murder, and it's a noblewoman who's been found dead in the street. And as I mentioned, this is set in the Joseon like period in Korea. And this is an era that I don't know much about historically speaking, but only like I've read 30 pages of this book and I just want to learn so much. Like I'm so intrigued. So we follow our main character, who is an indentured servant to the police force within this city, and the reason why they have indentured servants is because it's against the law for a man to touch a woman. So if there's any type of crime where a woman is found dead, she basically has to go to the crime scene, touch the corpse, you know, position it in a way that the investigators can kind of look at it, make initial observations, just like transport the corpse. And then there's other indentured servants that have been trained in like medical things to like do the examination. But I thought that was really interesting. And this book opens on the death of the king, and there's also conflicts of have been a lot of murders recently because basically people are killing Catholics or people who have transcribed to Western ideals. So that is interesting. I feel like that's going to be playing a larger piece within this book, more from like an uprising perspective, but I don't fully know. I'm really just trying to like follow along with what's going on. It's obviously a murder mystery, but like I just feel like the writing style is really gripping and it's beautiful. It flows in a way that it's just like keeps you really interested. And the main character, there's also this element of jumping forward and back in time. So our main character will kind of give us pieces of her past as she's experiencing the present. Also, we find out a lot about the world through her. Like she has a lot of coworkers. I don't know if you call them coworkers, but she has like inspectors she's working with, and she can't describe their faces because she's not allowed to look at their face. So she'll describe other aspects of their character, which completely provides a very clear picture of what kind of person they are in your mind without describing their face. And I just feel like it's such a clear indicator of this writer's skill that she can just provide so much character information without giving like, there's no glances or eyes or facial expressions. Everything else, other things have to be used to kind of like fill in. But anyway, that's all to say I'm liking this book a lot. I'm curious. I feel like this murder is going to turn into a larger conspiracy, but we shall see. I'm excited to learn. So 34 pages, done. Hi, I'm back with another reading update. I'm about to reward myself with cake, but I'm going to read for another 30 minutes before I do that. I've passed the 100 while I'm on page 99, so I technically haven't passed the 100 page mark, but I've very quickly read just about 100 pages of this book, and I was right to say that yes, this is a murder mystery, but there's definitely a larger political element at play here. Essentially, with the death of the previous ruler, the new individual in charge is basically trying to confirm their rule, one, but also use Catholicism and like killing off of Catholic individuals with the guise of like they're infiltrating like Western ideals to also do away with their political enemies from the South. And all of this is kind of wrapped into different characters and players both at the police place, because they're all, you know, aristocrats slash high-ranking military officials, or they can be. And our main character is like trying to navigate all of this, figure out what's going on. She's very loyal to the a particular detective because she saved his life and he promised to help her get free of her indentured status. But he's now also kind of been cast as a huge possible suspect to this murder that happened at the beginning of the book. It's wild. I honestly have no idea who did what, but it's so intriguing, and I flying through it in that like every chapter beautifully just moves into the next one. I am super curious to see what's gonna keep happening, so I'm gonna read another chunk. I'm hoping to get to page like 130, and then I'm gonna watch some Naruto, eat some cake, and then get back to reading. I'm hoping to read most of this tonight. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it, but I'm gonna try. So, you know, just an update. And again, classical music is clutch. All right, I read to page 130, and I'm gonna watch some Naruto now, but this book is heating up. There's always been a mystery since the beginning, but I guess the thrilling element is definitely starting to happen. There's some more like people in the field. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know what's going on, but I don't know who the bad guys are, who the good guys are. I'm just rooting for our main character, is all I'm gonna say. But now it's time to get some cake. I cut myself a big slice, and honestly, funfetti cake is the best cake, hands down. Time for some Naruto and cake. Oh, thank you. And then back to reading. Hello, Matilda. All right, I watched some Naruto. It's so wild. We're so in the end game. It is just, I have so much I could say, but obviously I'm not gonna say any of it, but I'm gonna go back into reading. I'm on page 130. I'm really gonna try to finish it, but at least get to page like almost 300. It's only 330-ish pages, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna put my classical music back on because that was really effective in making me focus. It's currently 11:25, so let's see how late I can stay up. I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I think my only plan is to go to the grocery store. So other than that, we're good to go. Quick reading update. I am on page 190. I read a fast 60 pages because basically this book is wild. There's just, how do I say, it's kind of evolved from like a murder mystery to this larger conspiracy, and there's so many threads, and I am just as discombobulated as the main character, and there's also just like a lot at stake because our main character not only is like trying to figure out this murder, she's dealing with huge power disparities as being a woman, an indentured servant, treated really unfairly in society, in the place that she is forced to work, and her own safety is at risk, but her desire and curiosity to solve this crime, like she can't fight that feeling. So it adds this level of intensity, like very intense, because we want her to figure it out too. We are curious, but we also don't want anything to happen to her. And it's just really intense because I don't know who did what, and I also don't know, there's just a lot. There's a lot of mystery on mystery here. Like, it's not just a murder. Like, there's just a lot of things happening, and it is escalating really well. Like, this book is not long, and I feel like it jumped and started really strong right off the bat, and it's just like kind of building on each other, and it's definitely very story focused, which I like when it comes to murder mysteries. It's not really, I don't know, I'm liking this book a lot, and it's reading really, really quickly, so I'm gonna get back to it. But I've almost read 200 pages, which I'm really pleased about. Back with another reading update. I am reading this book so quickly. I had hopes I would read a lot tonight, but honestly I was a little skeptical of myself. But I have 80 pages of this book left, maybe a little over. I'm reading it so quickly. It is wild. It is like, yes, a murder, but also like family and honor and shame and all the things. It's so good. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to reading. I just wanted to check in. I finished my book. It is like 2 a.m. I'm gonna go to bed because I read the whole thing, which I didn't think I was gonna do, but this thing was a wild ride. Oh my god, this would be a great mini-series. The drama, the intrigue. Had it all. I'll talk more about it tomorrow though. I am a sweaty mess because I woke up and then immediately went to the grocery store this morning. All was actually going well, but as I was lugging my groceries back home, I accidentally dropped one of my Trader Joe's bags, and it of course was the one with the glass bottle of olive oil. alas. So I've been washing all my groceries over there because everything's covered in olive oil. But anyway, it's fine. Got lots of fruits and vegetables for lunch and dinner for the next couple of weeks, which is exciting. It's always really rewarding to get something like this out of the way because it is still a bit of an ordeal to go to the grocery store in New York anyway. But yeah, went to the grocery store. Sorry, I'm out of breath. But time to put all this away. Editing and making a smoothie because a smoothie just sounded so good. I also had to change my clothes because I realized I got olive oil all over it. But I am going to start reading soon. I'm just getting a little settled first. I changed for the 3rd time this morning. But I'm about to sit down and actually do some reading. But first I want to chat through the book I read last night. All right, it's finally time to start reading again for this 24-hour readathon vlog. First things first, I did finish The Silence of Bones last night. I read the entirety of this book in essentially one sitting, and it's 320 pages long. I really enjoyed this book. The historical setting, the ambiance. I also felt like the mystery was beyond just a typical murder mystery. There was like so much more. There was like familial drama, there was larger political conspiracies at play, and the overall historical influence and historical setting I felt was just so well captured. And also, like, I didn't have a lot of knowledge about the Joseon era going into this period, but I also felt like the author really was able to explain a lot of important historical nuance with it not feeling like info dumping or anything. Like, you felt really rooted in the time and place, and it was just so interesting. And I obviously flew through it. There's definitely a point about like a third of the way through where it just picks up and you just do not want to put it down. I also want to say I listened to like a classical music soundtrack while listening to this, and most of the book, or rather most of the songs, were kind of like a darker in tone, and I need to do that more often. It was so nice. I feel like it added such ambiance and like to my, I don't know, like it just felt like it scored everything in my head and it made the experience almost more visual. It's hard to explain. It's something I've never done before, but we'll definitely do more in the future. I don't know if it'll work for my next book, which is Anna Kay and more of a contemporary romance, but for more serious or like darker novels, I'm definitely going to be doing that moving forward because it just, I don't know, I feel like it really upped my reading experience. That being said, I am now gonna start Anna Kay by Jenny Lee, which again is a contemporary romance story inspired by Anna Karenina. I don't know, I'm excited about this. I hope it's like a really easy, fast read, but we shall see. Only one way to find out. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish this whole book today, but if I get a decent of the way through, I'll be really jazzed. I've already read 320 pages, which I think is really strong, so I'm just gonna keep on trucking. So I've read a quick 30 pages of this book, and it is basically exactly what I was hoping it would be. It is so dramatic already, and I would definitely describe it as like a Gossip Girl-esque story. You are shifting between a variety of different perspectives, but it essentially opens on a 16-year-old girl discovering that her boyfriend was cheating on her when she was buying him a new Apple Watch strap from Hermes. Did I even say that right? Hermes, the expensive store, very expensive store. Everyone in this book is super rich, super privileged, super beautiful, and I'm pretty sure things are just about to go wild. Anna Kay is like this charismatic, beautiful, beloved individual in society, and she's like also really well placed, and she does like all the right things, and she has a boyfriend who is also very prestigious, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna fall in love with the wrong boy, and it's gonna cause lots of drama, among other things. Like, there's a lot of characters which I think are interesting, but yeah, this definitely has like Gossip Girl vibes, but I can definitely see this sort of like dramatic court-like influence from Anna Karenina within this story as well. It reads really quick. This is going to be super dramatic, so I would say, like, if you're going to pick up this book, like, understand this is like high society New York, rich kids doing rich kid things. There is one character, Dustin, who is kind of not one of these rich kids. He's very likable. He's a smart kid, and he's a tutor for one of the characters that has a harder time in school, and they're friends, and he's also present in this, and he's definitely more on the normal scale, on the normal spectrum of all these people, but yeah, I'm gonna go back to reading. All right, so I've read 75 pages of Anna K, which means I've read 400 pages so far in the last 24 hours. I am going to start making lunch. Just gonna make like a falafel salad, which should be good. And then I'm gonna get back to reading. I think I'm gonna watch and play a little bit of Pokemon today too, because it is my day off and I wanna make sure I get some Pokemon in. I'm acting like that is like necessary, but it is in my heart. So I wanna play some Pokemon. Making a quick Mediterranean salad, which I'm gonna top with hummus, and then the falafel I heated up in the oven from Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's falafel is cheap and so tasty. And done. A slightly less unhealthy salad from Reagan Salad Emporium. All right, coffee time. And I'm gonna sit back down and do some more reading. I watched some booktube to get some motivation. Sometimes just, I gotta watch other people read and then I'm like, what am I doing? I need to read too. It is thunderstorming so hard outside. Great reading ambiance. But I wanted to do a check-in because I have been reading. I passed 150 page mark of this book, and I really want to say that like the descriptor of this being like Gossip Girl is very good and accurate. I mean, this is a book about high schoolers, but it's so far from reality that it's almost like you should just anticipate it being like a CW show where 29-year-olds are playing high schoolers, because that's what this book feels like. What people are doing, their mentalities, they're almost like extreme stereotypes of what like high schoolers are. Maybe not in these circles. I'm so far from these circles, this could be reality, but I just imagine everyone being like 29 and being in a CW show like Gossip Girl, because it is so wild. Because of that though, it is super entertaining. They're essentially like what I would describe. Okay, so there are the primary conflicting characters. There's this person named Vronsky who's like this very charismatic, very attractive womanizer character. All the ladies love him. He's just like the man. He's not gonna settle down. He's interested in just being with all the women in the world. And then there's Anna, who's this sort of beautiful, charismatic person who exists within all social circles. She has a very you know, well-to-do boyfriend. She's doing all the things right, blah, 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 blah. These two individuals both draw their own crowd in that they're both like lights within this society. Vronsky attracts all the women and Anna attracts pretty much all the women and the men. Like everyone admires her in that way, and they are very much drawn to each other in the most obviously like insta-love situation. Like everyone's feelings in this book are so intense. The relationships, I mean, everyone's like 16, but everyone would seemingly like die for each other, which again, this is a drama book and it's playing into its known tropes, if that makes sense. Like this book isn't trying to be realistic, it's trying to be entertaining, so keep that in mind. So then surrounding these characters, you have Anna's brother who has a girlfriend and they're like big partiers, and then his brother's girlfriend's sister is in love with Vronsky, so there's a bit of conflict there because obviously Anna and Vronsky has this thing even though Anna has a boyfriend. Then there's also Dustin, who's in love with Kimmy, who is Steven's girlfriend's sister, who's in love with Vronsky. So there's all these like connections. It's very messy. No one is very moral. People are cheating left and right. There's drugs, there's partying, there's dancing, very little studying going on. But it's so entertaining and ridiculous. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm really just trying to preface this to be like, know what you're getting into. This is not a realistic high school coming of age story. This is like an absurd, dramatized contemporary novel, which honestly kind of works for it being an Anna Karenina retelling, because the court, like Russian court politics, were also very glamorous, kind of vapid, kind of on the extreme end of like what they would do to entertain themselves because they're so rich and beautiful and they have access to everything they want. And that is basically what's kind of happening here in New York society. It's like the modern day version of that. And I mean, like, they're getting their picture taken by paparazzi. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, it's really interesting. And I would say like the feeling of the love story between Vronsky and Anna K feels doomed, which I think it's supposed to, because I think Anna Karenina ends sad. So it feels like these two forces that want to be together, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna work out. I could be wrong. I'm only, you know, I'm a little under halfway through, so we shall see. But I also feel like there's gonna be all sorts of mess that follows them around, just based on what I've read so far. So, you know, we'll see. I'll let you know. But I'm gonna get back to reading. Hi everyone. So I've just been sitting in the rain, reading my book, Anna K. And here's the thing. I'm on page 231. And this book is just such a wild time. So like, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, and the characters are definitely not perfect. In a lot of ways, the characters don't even feel like real people because they just exist in a different plane of reality. And also just kind of like how the story is presented. I feel like they're supposed to feel almost like otherworldly because of their status. Aside from Dustin. Dustin is definitely the character who we kind of can relate to. He's sort of an outsider from a wealth perspective, but is kind of running in the circles due to circumstances of being a tutor. And also Dustin is just really likable. He's really smart. I don't know. Dustin's a great guy. He's like the only person in this book that feels real and likable. I wanted to flag too that there's definitely elements of like cheating. Well, there's obvious elements of cheating, but this whole like Vronsky Anna thing is like, they're like drawn to each other, and she has a boyfriend. Yet like there's this energy and she's like trying to figure out like what to do about it. And normally cheating tropes are my least favorite things within novels, but again, because these people don't feel real and this feels more like a CW drama, I'm like in it for the drama, if that makes sense. So it doesn't bother me as much, but I would say because of that, I'm not really committed to the romance of it. I'm more committed to the what in the world's gonna happen next, like they're gonna bring disaster down upon themselves sort of thing. Even though like I like Anna and I enjoy her scenes and I like the characters for the most part. Some characters I don't particularly like. I don't think you're supposed to like them, but it's definitely an interesting book because of that. This isn't supposed to be like a rom-com, fall in love with everyone, contemporary story about kids growing up and going to school. It's like a very different type of book from that. I mean, like literally Vronsky convinced his cousin to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on an elaborate costume party to have an excuse to be around Anna. Like, that's wild stuff. But yeah, so I'm on page 230. I think I have like a little over 100 pages left. Yeah, I have like 150 pages left. So I'm gonna keep trying to read it. I'm gonna actually try to finish it, but we will see if I'll be able to, but it's definitely so interesting. I truly stand by the statement of this is a book about high schoolers, but they're being played by 29-year-olds in a CW drama. Like that's what this book is. So if you're into that, like I'm into those kind of CW shows, and you know the drama that you're getting yourself into and don't expect any sort of realistic portrayal of a high school experience, and you're just kind of like, you just want to see the dramatic antics play out, this is for you. And just like the splendor of wealth, I feel like really matches the Anna Karenina vibe. Like this costume party is supposed to be a stand-in for like an elaborate ball, done modern day. I would say one of the only things that's kind of drawing me out of the story is I generally hate I generally dislike pop culture references. And I don't mind them sprinkled in here or there. It's more with TV shows than music, because like I get that you have to mention music if you're at a party. Even then though, I walk the line. But like there's a lot of Game of Thrones references and I just hated how Game of Thrones ended, so it kind of annoys me. But that's not like really a real criticism. That's just like a personal thing. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to reading. It's like just after 5, so pleased with my progress so far. I've read almost 600 pages, which I'm pretty pleased with. Honestly, if I'm gonna be able to almost finish this book tonight, I would be really happy with that. If I read 2 books over this 2-day period or 1-day period, I think that would be excellent. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to it. This book is wild. These kids be wild. That's all I've got to say about that. All right, I've changed into pajamas. I also did this thing with my hair. I'm not sure. I'm having one of those days where like everything I do with my hair I hate, so I just keep trying new things, and I thought like a cute scarf might make me feel better, but it's not. But I am wearing my favorite pajama set from Lou & Grey, which I'll show you. Here it is. So comfy. Linen, breathable. Anyway, I'm basically just begging the universe to please give me a haircut in some sort of capacity. I am so close to just cutting off all my hair myself, which is, I should not be doing that. It's just so long, I hate it. Anyway, enough complaining about me. It is now 6:30. I am basically at the same point at the last check-in. I've just changed into a new outfit. I'm gonna start making dinner soon. I think I'm gonna watch a bit of TV, but I'm definitely gonna continue to read this throughout tonight. Clay is working late probably, so I actually think I might be able to even finish it. And the book itself reads really quickly, given that it's literally just one dramatic thing after another. So for that reason, it's a good readathon book. So yeah, I just wanted to check in and let you know I'm probably gonna be making dinner. It's gonna be a simple dinner, just some chicken, some roasted carrots, some broccoli. Let's put goat cheese on everything. Anyway, I'll show you that in a bit though. Right now though, I think I'm gonna have a snack. I'm really excited because I did go to Trader Joe's today, which means I finally have more peanut butter pretzels, which I haven't had in like a month, and they're like my go-to snack. They're the best. After flaming hot Cheetos, of course. Just a caveat. Matilda and I are flabbergasted by the drama present in this book. Flabbergasted. She had to take a nap when she got to part 3. It was too wild to handle, right, Matilda? Step 1, roasting some carrots for 20 minutes. I'm gonna put some chicken and then cook some broccoli, and that's literally it. Easy dinner tonight. It's been a minute since I've done like a full shop at a grocery store, and it was so nice. Like, the shopping experience was really nice. The only stressful part is when I dropped that entire glass canister of olive oil all over the place. But other than that, it was great. It's step 2, chicken, goat cheese on mine. No goat cheese on Clay, because he is an odd man who doesn't even like goat cheese. Dinner is done. Well, the broccoli's still kind of cooking, but for the most part, done. All right, cozying up, and I'm going to read more. I got to part 3 of this novel, which, well, a little past part 3. And I'm actually gonna try to finish it. I don't have that much left. It is such a wild ride. Absurd. I would say, let me flip you around. This book is by no means perfect, and I think right now I'm probably sitting at like a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which I don't think a 3.5 out of 5 stars is a bad rating. That means I was entertained. I definitely within this book. It's definitely not perfect in that like some elements of like the characters are definitely problematic, blah, blah, blah. And I would say maybe the pacing could be a bit better. It is so dramatic, but sometimes the scenes I feel like are a little too long. But other than that though, I don't really have like any major complaints, and I'm liking it a lot. It's not like blowing my mind or anything, but it's captivating my attention. It's the kind of, I don't know, these people are just on another level, I guess. I'm having a hard time articulating it because it's not, it's definitely not a new favorite, but I'm having a really good time reading it. And I also am just begging for someone to make this a television show, because it would just be great. It would be so entertaining. And I think it would just be could be adapted really well from a television perspective. So anyway, I'm gonna keep on reading. Something wild just happened, of course, you know, what a shock. So I must see how it proceeds. Matilda looks like such a little cinnamon roll, but I ate a snack, and I'll give you guys a reading update in a minute. Okay, I'm back with the reading update. I'm on page 300 now, and I feel like I should have already made this clear, but I have not read Anna Karenina, so I feel like this is probably matching that book pretty closely, but I don't know what happens at the end of that book, so I feel like I'm still gonna be very surprised by this ending. It's a wild time. I have to say, one thing I really appreciate is the large cast of characters, and I also feel like characters have kind of been grouping together. Obviously, there are elements that I've already talked about, the forbidden love, the Vronsky and Anna K sort of gravitational pull they have towards each other. It's interesting because I wouldn't say I'm necessarily rooting for them, but I also understand what's going on, and it's almost like I would say like a cosmic force is bringing them together. Like, Anna K is not doing right by her boyfriend, even if she doesn't particularly like him that much, and Vronsky isn't doing right by a variety of people, but oddly you still kind of root for them. needless to say, again, this is a highly dramatized novel, and I wouldn't say reflects real life very closely, especially in regards to like the opulent fashion. That being said, there are things that do ground it in its reality, and that the characters do have to explore a plethora of things that many young adults have to explore, like mental health, addiction, family issues, like the pressures of growing up and feeling and finding your place. So all of those elements I do feel like give the characters a lot more dimension, which I appreciate, and kind of elevates them beyond their just grandiose personalities and activities, which I like. And reading reviews, I feel like not as many people love Kimmy and Dustin, but I find their characters to be really interesting because they feel the most real to me. Anna Kay is wonderful, and Vronsky and all of that, and Steven is funny, though he's flawed, whatever. They feel more like ethereal in the sense that they feel more untouchable. But the Kimmys and the Dustins, I like see them more like in my heart, I guess. And their struggles and their story, I just feel like is more rooted in reality, and I think it helps the book. Because it does shift between all of these perspectives. Kimmy and Dustin are dealing with, I guess, more direct either mental health or family issues. So that's kind of explored, which I appreciate. But yeah, I'm almost done with this book. I can't believe how much I've read in a 24-hour period. But I'm gonna get back to it. It's just wild. I've said it before in this vlog, this should be a TV show. But anyway, I'm gonna finish it and then I will check in. I've heard that where I'm at, things really escalate, so we shall see. Just read a really cute scene. I feel like this is probably one of the only cute scenes in this book for a variety of reasons, and it reminds me that I was right on my character love, because I love them. Would die for Dustin. Okay, I'm almost done with this book. Not reading Anna Karenina before reading a retelling of Anna Karenina, I'll tell you what, it's a wild time. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Wasn't clear. I just got to the end. And I don't want to say anything because spoilers. I guess not really if you've read Anna Karenina. I don't know, it's a weird walk. It's a weird line to walk, but this is a wild book, people. The last 30 pages of this book have just been like all over the place. This has got to be one of the most dramatic books I've ever read in my entire life. It is like a soap opera, but like to the next level. Everything you can think of, it is happening. And I am living for it. Guys, I'm so proud of myself. I read 2 books in 24 hours. I can't believe it. I mean, I picked 2 good books for a readathon. A thriller and a dramatic kind of contemporary novel, and they're both under 400 pages, which I always feel like I always pick way too long books for readathons, but that's a conversation for another day. But I read 2 books. I would say Anna Kay I enjoyed immensely. It was really dramatic, the characters, the setting, it read really quickly. I think I'm gonna stand by my rating of like a 3.5, 3.75. It definitely had like insta love, and I think because of that, while I appreciated reading about the romance, it never really felt super romantic or like it was supposed to be like a star-crossed lovers kind of scenario. So because of that, there's not a lot of like emotional romancing. There was other characters who had romances that I did really enjoy as like secondary characters, but overall the book was really entertaining, and I think what it was trying to do, I feel like it definitely achieved. I think maybe the final climax could have been paced. I think we almost could have had a little bit more there, but I appreciated too the author kind of brought characters together in unexpected ways that were really satisfying, kind of playing into the whole fate thing as well, which was fun. But yeah, I think overall I would give it like a 3.5, 3.75, and then Silence of Bones I would give a 4-star. Really loved this book. But all in all, I read, I think, like 700 pages. So 24 hours, 700 pages read. Really proud of myself, and I really enjoyed both books, so I'd say a grand success. I guess I just accidentally ended the vlog right now, But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon, I'm sure, with another video and another vlog soon. And yeah, thanks for making the Koreadathon, Monica and Chloe. This was great. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.